Hi, I'm Luke Deeker with Likewise,
And I'm Joshua McClintock with Likewise.
and today we're going to talk about securing an Ubuntu desktop with Likewise Enterprise. Alright Josh, so what we're trying to illustrate today here with Likewise Inc. is Joe, a user who's been a part of the company for some time now,
Right.
is going to be a new user on our Ubuntu desktop that's being rolled out as a part of our Ubuntu desktop initiative, where we're doing a big migration onto Ubuntu. So right here we have one desktop
Yep.
and our user Joe. So what can we do to provision Joe on Ubuntu?
Sure. So is Joe already in Active Directory?
Yeah, Joe's already a user provisioned in
Okay,
Active
great.
Directory.
Okay. So really the first thing that we want to do is install the Likewise tools on really the machine that you run Active Directory, use computers or Group Policy Manager on today, because we integrate with both of those native tools.
Okay, so we have Joe here, who's a user at Likewise Inc., and he's provisioned already in the current Active Directory. But Joe is going to be using this Ubuntu desktop as part of our Ubuntu desktop initiative.
Right.
A big migration over to Ubuntu. So there's a lot of these desktops, but today we're just going to be talking about this one machine.
Sure. Okay.
So what's the first step?
Well, we need to give Joe an identity for Unix using the Likewise tools.
Okay.
And of course, these tools here talk to Active Directory, so any work that you do here is going to show up in AD.
Okay, so what do we do here on this machine to set it up?
Right. So after you've installed the Likewise tools, it augments both of these. And so what you'll do is find Joe in ADUC,
Okay.
right-click on him, hit Properties,
Okay.
and now you're going to see a new Likewise Settings tab show up.
Okay.
Okay, so once you see that tab, you click on it, and then there will be a choice to enable Joe in the cell that the wizard created during install.
Okay.
Alright, so we enable him in the cell, and you're going to see Unix type properties in there that you're going to want to define, like a UID number, GID, Unix home directory shell, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So after you do that, and you click OK.
Yep. Okay, now all those values get written into Active Directory, so they're stored here. They're not stored on your management workstation. Yep.
Okay.
All right, great. So now the next step is to get the Likewise Enterprise agent and install it on your Ubuntu desktop.
Okay. So now say I've installed the agent on this desktop. What's next?
Okay, so now we do a domain join, much like you would join a Windows machine to a domain.
Okay. So do the domain join,
Yep.
which can be done with a command line or through a GUI, right?
Yep, correct. Just make sure you're root when you do it.
Okay. And so this machine's now joined to Active Directory. What's the next step?
That's right. So now the agent will look into Active Directory for the existence of this cell that we added Joe to. It will find it, and
Okay.
it will know about Joe.
Okay. So now what happens?
Okay, so you go to your login prompt and you type in your username and Active Directory password, and all of a sudden now you're logged in to Ubuntu as Joe Active Directory user.
Okay. Awesome. So Joe's all ready to go.
That's right.
All right. So can you do the same thing over here with an Ubuntu server? And say we have the development group here. We want to be able to access the Ubuntu server, but not our accounting group over here.
Of course, yeah, you can do that. So the first step really is going to be enabling the development group in the Likewise cell, just like we did with Joe.
Okay.
So you'll right-click on your group, hit Properties, you'll see the Likewise Settings tab, enable them in the cell, choose a UID number, and hit OK.
Okay. And then just like with the desktop, what do we do over here?
Okay, so really same steps. You install the Likewise agent,
Okay.
do the domain join, so we're now hooked to AD. This thing will look into Active Directory for the existence of that cell, and now it's going to see not only Joe, but it's also going to see this development group. Yep, that's right.
Okay. And so all of a sudden, both Joe and the development group that are enabled in this cell can get onto the Ubuntu server.
Yeah, but let's say that we want to only allow development people to log in and not the accounting people.
Okay.
Alright, so what we're going to do is edit the group policy object the wizard created for us,
Okay.
and we're going to go into that blue folder, and then we're going to hit Likewise Settings, and then Log On, and then there's a policy in there called Log On Restrictions,
Okay.
or Allow Log On Rights.
Okay.
And so what we're going to do then is it lets you choose any Active Directory user or group.
Okay.
So we'll hit the little picker button, we'll choose the development group,
All right.
hit OK, and now when this server gets this group policy object, it's only going to allow members of the development AD group to log in.
All right.
Yep.
Excellent. So now we've provisioned an Ubuntu desktop, and we've provisioned an Ubuntu server as part of our Ubuntu desktop initiative, and we are ready to go.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us today for this experiment in how to provision a Ubuntu desktop and secure it.